Welcome to the year 2026, where the sun-drenched red carpets of Hollywood have started to look less like a star-studded gala and more like a high-budget, slightly eerie sci-fi convention. Have you ever looked at a fresh photo of your favorite icon and felt that strange, cold chill crawl down your spine? That sinking feeling that something is just fundamentally off? You definitely aren't alone. We are currently witnessing a total, almost unrecognizable transformation of the Hollywood aesthetic, and it is certainly not the graceful aging process we were once promised. The desperate quest for perfection has officially spiraled into a nightmare for some of Hollywood's biggest names. It brings us to the ultimate question that everyone is whispering about today. When does the quest for perfection turn into a total nightmare? In the so-called golden age of Hollywood, a plastic surgery secret was a heavy burden, something you took to the grave. But by 2015, the landscape shifted toward the Instagram face, that specific look of pillowy lips, high cheekbones, and cat-like eyes. At the time, it was subtle enough to be glamorous. But fast forward to our reality in 2026, and that trend has mutated into something unsettling. We have moved far past the era of natural enhancement and entered the age of the frozen and overfilled look that is currently dominating the red carpet. It is a sea of faces that simply don't move, eyes that are incapable of a genuine squint, and jawlines so sharp they look like they were sculpted out of clay. It is a tragedy unfolding in high definition, and today we are looking at 35 stars who have completely ruined their faces. Let's kick things off with a former teen idol, our pop princess. She was the face of a generation, but her recent 2026 selfies have sent shockwaves through the internet. Fans are questioning if it is even her or if she has been replaced by a digital avatar. The transformation is staggering. It is not just the standard Botox, it is an aggressive eyebrow lift that has left her looking permanently surprised. But the real disaster is the cheek filler migration. Instead of a youthful glow, the filler has drifted downward, creating a heavy shelf effect near her jaw. Her once expressive face now looks weighed down and deeply unnatural, a far cry from the bubbly girl we all fell in love with. Then we have the legendary leading man, a true action hero known for his rugged looks and intense screen presence. For decades, he fought the aging process with grace, but the pressure to remain forever young finally took its toll. In early 2026, he appeared at a premiere with the pillow face effect. His features were so swollen with fillers that his eyes were reduced to tiny slits. The most heartbreaking part? His ability to show emotion on screen has vanished. How can an actor play a grieving father or a soldier when his face is incapable of a frown? He has become a statue of his former self, trading his acting range for a smooth forehead that looks more like a hard-boiled egg than human skin. We also have to talk about the reality TV dynasty. These sisters have been the beauty trendsetters for a decade. Comparing their 2015 looks to their 2026 appearance is like looking at different families. The culprit is the buccal fat removal trend. Back in the day, they were all about that snatched look, but by 2026, the removal of natural facial fat has left them looking gaunt and aged instead of snatched. Instead of looking defined, they look hollowed out and tired, as if they have aged 20 years overnight. It is a scary reminder that what is trendy today might become a permanent regret tomorrow. This brings us to the uncanny valley effect. It is a breakdown of why these 35 stars are hitting a point where they no longer look human, but rather like AI-generated versions of themselves. Their skin has a waxy sheen, their proportions are biologically impossible, and their expressions are trapped in a state of frozen glamour. Industry whispers are pointing the finger at one specific source. Rumors are swirling about an anonymous surgeon in Beverly Hills that multiple stars on this list supposedly visited before their transformations went south. He is the man responsible for the Hollywood mask. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. We are just getting started, and you won't believe who is next. We are teasing a star who was once voted the most beautiful woman in the world, but whose recent appearance in 2026 left the internet in tears. Her face has changed so much that even loyal fans did not recognize her. Stay tuned, because this descent into the plastic surgery abyss is only getting deeper. We have officially reached that terrifying threshold known in the industry as the point of no return. You know the vibe. It is that specific moment when a celebrity goes from looking refreshed to looking like they are wearing a high-definition rubber mask of their own former self. As we dive into celebrities 5 through 25, the transformations become increasingly bizarre and frankly a little heartbreaking. It usually starts with a tiny bit of filler or a subtle lift, but by 2026, many icons have found themselves caught in a cycle of just one more tweak. They are chasing a version of themselves that simply does not exist anymore, and the results are being broadcast to millions in unforgiving detail. Take our number 5 spot, the legendary 90s supermodel who once defined the epitome of effortless grace. However, her recent obsession with aggressive fox eye surgery has left her looking like she is caught in a permanent high-velocity wind tunnel. It is that overly pulled, slanted look that completely ignores her natural bone structure. The internet went into a total frenzy when leaked recovery photos from her 2026 surgery surfaced on a private forum. She looked almost unrecognizable, with her skin pulled so tight that her eyes appeared nearly rectangular. Why would someone whose face launched 1,000 magazine covers feel the need to reconstruct it from scratch? It is a baffling tragedy that has fans wondering if she will ever find her way back to her original look. This leads us directly into a massive 2026 phenomenon, filler fatigue. For years, these stars pumped their faces full of hyaluronic acid, thinking it would just disappear naturally. But we are learning that it does not always go away, it migrates. Now, many stars are desperately trying to dissolve their old fillers, only to find that their skin has lost all its natural elasticity. The result is a lumpy, uneven jawline that no lighting or filters can fix. You can see it in those candid red carpet shots, strange pebble-like textures under the skin that make the face look heavy and aged. The path back to a natural appearance is officially blocked for many who took the fillers way too far. And can we talk about the nose job cycle? Looking at celebrities 10 through 15, a scary pattern emerges. We are seeing stars who are currently on their 4th or 5th rhinoplasty. By this stage, there is almost no natural cartilage left for a surgeon to work with. The result is that collapsed bridge look that is becoming a terrifying hallmark of Hollywood in 2026. These noses are getting smaller and more pinched with every public appearance. They look more like something on a plastic doll than on a human being who actually needs to breathe for their craft. It is a visual representation of vanity overriding basic human biology, and the results are often sadly permanent. When you look at the 2026 then and now comparisons, the side-by-side evidence is staggering. In 2015, these stars had soft, mobile features and expressive eyes. Now those eyes have been pulled into aggressive slants, and their lips often do not even close properly anymore. There is a specific look where the upper lip is so overfilled that it hangs like a shelf. Even the pros are speaking out. Anonymous makeup artist testimonials on Reddit have gone viral, complaining about how difficult it is to contour these new faces. They describe the skin as having a waxy texture that rejects foundation completely. One artist mentioned that it is like trying to paint on a balloon with no natural movement left in the underlying tissue. Then we have Celebrity 20, a comedic actor whose career was built on hilarious, expressive facial reactions. But after a total Botox freeze in early 2026, their ability to perform has been completely compromised. They can no longer move their forehead or even squint properly, effectively ending their career in dramatic or nuanced roles. How can you deliver a punchline when your face is as still as a frozen lake? It is a tragic example of how the quest for youth can destroy a star's greatest professional asset, leaving them with a smooth forehead but no work. The price of this vanity is astronomical, with some spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on procedures that backfire spectacularly. But wait until you see our top 10. One of these celebrities actually went into hiding for 2 entire years just to try and fix a botched chin implant that had started to migrate toward their ear. You will not believe who it is, or how much their face has truly changed. Entering the top 10 of these surgical disasters feels less like a simple countdown and more like a descent into a hall of mirrors where nothing is quite as it seems. We are now looking at the stars who have crossed the line so completely that there is no turning back to the people they once were. At number 30, we absolutely have to talk about that legendary actress whose 2026 pulled back facelift fiasco became the talk of every group chat in the world. When she stepped onto that award show stage recently, the social media frenzy was both immediate and devastating. The shape of her mouth had been altered so drastically that she seemed to be wearing a permanent tight smile even when she was clearly trying to look serious or emotional. It wasn't just about the wrinkles being gone, it was the way her features were pulled toward her hairline. Industry whispers suggest she is another high-profile client of that anonymous Beverly Hills surgeon we mentioned earlier, the one behind that tight Hollywood mask that leaves no room for human expression. The public's reaction on X was a mix of shock and genuine internet tears, and as fans mourned the loss of one of the most expressive faces in history. As we move through the final few, the transformations only get more extreme and harder to watch. We are seeing icons whose bone structures have been completely obscured by migrating fillers and excessive cheek implants that catch the light in all the wrong ways. It brings us to the most anticipated entry on our entire list, our #1 spot, the ultimate transformation. This star was once the global gold standard of natural beauty, the woman every girl wanted to be, but in 2026, she sports features that are almost entirely unrecognizable. Her eyes have been pulled into such a sharp feline slant that her original soulful gaze is totally gone. Her chin and jawline have been reconstructed into extreme, alien-like angles that simply do not match the soft bone structure she was born with. It is a total overhaul that has left her looking more like a digital avatar than a living, breathing human being. Even those anonymous makeup artists from Reddit have weighed in, claiming that her skin has become so thick and unresponsive from repeated procedures that contouring her face is now like trying to paint on cold wax. The memification of these icons is a brutal reality of 2026. On TikTok and X, creators are making viral side-by-side edits that highlight the tragic loss of their natural charm, often set to somber music. It is a cruel cycle where celebrities feel the relentless pressure to look perfect because of the unforgiving gaze of 8K cameras and those omnipresent Instagram filters that make artificial perfection look like the baseline. But then, they get mocked and ridiculed when they actually try to achieve that impossible standard through surgery. It is a psychological trap of the highest order. These stars are told they are aging out of the industry, so they turn to the needle and the scalpel, only to find themselves becoming the subject of viral jokes and uncanny valley comparisons. However, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon as we look toward the future. In late 2026, we are seeing the beginning of a massive dissolving trend. Some stars are reportedly trying to reverse the damage, opting for the new natural movement that is slowly gaining traction among the elite. They are finally tired of the frozen look and are seeking specialists to help them regain their original facial mobility. Looking toward 2027, the industry is already buzzing with predictions. Who will be the next to debut a new face that actually looks human? Several A-listers have recently been spotted leaving high-end surgical centers in bandages. Which of these 35 transformations shocked you the most? Is it time for Hollywood to embrace aging? Like and subscribe for our next Hollywood expose.